Welcome everybody to a look at the 12th film in the Shawscope Volume 4 box set, and it is 1982's The Face The Fake Ghost Catchers. Yeah, this is directed by Lau Kar-wing, who I've not seen anything else from before as a director, but I've seen a lot more from him as an actor, which he's certainly more prolific as I've seen him in 21 other films. And yeah, this is a mix of comedy, horror, and action that clocks in at 103 minutes long. Stars Alexander Fusheng, who I've seen in 12 other films, favourites being the likes of The Eight Diagram Pole Fighter and The Avenging Eagle. We've also got Hai Ho in this, who was also in 18 other films that I've seen, although to be honest, he's not really ever been in a leading role. Outside of this film and Dirty Ho and Disciples of the 36th Chamber. Finally, Lily Lai, who we've already talked about in this box set with the likes of The Oily Maniac and Black Magic 1 and 2. So, one half of a pair of con men who fake exorcisms and ghost catching is hired by the real ghost of a murdered woman to hunt and trap the demonic spirit of a man who lusted after her when he was alive. Yeah, that demonic spirit ends up killing her. She comes back as a ghost and hires our ghost catcher, well, one half of them at the very least, and yeah, and then it goes from there. There are other plot threads throughout this, which is kind of one issue with this film. But on the whole, this is a much more successful effort at blending the horror and comedy genres than what we had with director Kwai Chai Hung, who helmed the Hex films and Bewitched, which is thanks to this actually being funny and spooky in all the right ways. Both genres are also aided by the fact that this has plenty of entertaining martial arts action and also an engaging plot. Now, this does have some similar issues that plagued prior efforts in this box set, such as the gambling scenes. There's one that I kind of understand, but there's another one that I had absolutely no clue what the rules were, and it does feel a little overstuffed in terms of its plot. But ultimately, this mostly works despite those issues. It's just a shame that there is so many threads to this plot. But not in a way that gets confusing. It just feels like it takes focus away from the main thrust of the plot, unfortunately. But that said, it does mostly work, and that is thanks to the good cast, solid pacing, on point cinematography, effective use of vivid colours for the lighting, convincing production value. It's not as madcap as the likes of Bloody Parrot when it comes to all of the different kind of production value and creature effects or anything like that. There are no creatures in this, in fact. But there are a few decent production value moments, and the period production does look convincing. But in terms of practical effects, when it comes to creatures and such like that, there's only really one kind of scene, or one or two scenes that stand out. One includes our murdered woman having her head beheaded, and that's done really rather well. And another scene where a ghost's eyes pop out. Decent enough in that regard, but nowhere near as madcap on the production side of things as the likes of Bloody Parrot. But it does also have several laughs, a decent score, and the fight scenes are choreographed really rather well. And yeah, certainly appreciate that they inject action into this to help mix up the comedy and horror elements of this film as well, as it does help break it up a fair decent amount. And that means that it gets a 4 out of 5. Not as good as Bloody Parrot overall, or the likes of Bat Without Wings, although I did give Bat Without Wings the same score. But I think Bat Without Wings has had a bit more of a focused plot. But still, it is far better than any of the films from Kwai Chai Hung, which includes Hex versus Witchcraft, Bewitched, and Hex After Hex, which were, on the whole, yeah, far worse than this one. Yeah, it keeps up most of the quality from the previous two films, and yeah, that is really, really great to see. It's also had a brand new 2K restoration from the original negative, newly restored Cantonese and Mandarin mono audios for this, and yeah, I watched it in the Cantonese audio. Sounds pretty good, and yeah, the 2K restoration looks great as well. And we have newly translated English subtitles of this release as well, but no extras on the disc for this film. Yeah, which is a little bit of a shame, especially since you could easily well have talked about the fact that this does sort of feel like a preempt to the likes of Ghostbusters, which came out 2 years later. Now, granted, the plots are obviously quite different, and such. But the fact is, they do actually refer to themselves as Ghostbusters in this. So whether or not they heard about that film coming out in a couple of years' time, or the fact that it was in pre-production or anything like that, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a little bit of a coincidence, really, that yeah, we have two horror comedies regardless of the martial arts action being added onto this that, you know, reference the idea of ghost busting. So yeah, that's just a little bit of a curious element to this. But on the whole, yeah, a really rather good effort, and one that is well worth seeing. So yeah, but nonetheless, thank you for watching. If you have seen the fake ghost catchers before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.